Hi, my name is Haley Amaker, and I'm going to tell you about my friend Steve and how he's a functional leader. One night, Steve and I were driving down a road, and we witnessed a vehicle swerve into the curb on the left side of the street. The vehicle lost control, crossed over to the right side of the street, flipped upside down, and landed in a field. Steve immediately pulled the truck over and told me to call 911, ran to the car to help the driver, and Steve successfully helped the driver out of the car, up to the side of the road and away from the vehicle to await emergency services. Steve took control of the situation and led it until help arrived when he communicated what happened effectively and efficiently. Steve's natural ability to step up and lead in any situation made me want to interview him regarding leadership. Steve is currently a manager at Bobcat at the Rockies, a heavy equipment dealer here in Golden, Colorado. Steve consistently communicates as a leader and has a functional leadership approach when dealing with his employees. Steve started with Bobcat, working in the yard, cleaning machines and getting them ready for customers to rent. He's since moved up within the company because he exhibits an ability to communicate like a leader, and even people above him at Bobcat utilize him as a resource. Steve emphasized the importance of knowledge when it comes to leadership. Most of the people who work with his company have moved up from within. He said it's key to have correct knowledge about different types of machines so that he can communicate what type of machine a customer will need based on the job they're trying to complete. Other managers at his branch have lacked knowledge and sent customers machines that are too small or do not have the function someone needs to complete a job. Steve also said that it's important to have a good understanding of the roles you're leading to know when you need to motivate an employee or when you need to reward them for hard work. When I asked Steve what the biggest challenge of being a leader was, he replied, "The ability to motivate effectively and without confrontation." He went on to explain that it is important to be able to mediate between your employees and resolve conflict when you're a leader. Another important aspect of leadership that Steve mentioned was follow-through. He said, if you're going to promise your employees or your customers something, it's vital to follow through with that promise. Steve went on to explain how he has had managers in the past that have not followed through with promises that they made and how he ended up losing confidence in those managers' abilities to lead. While discussing this aspect of promises, Steve mentioned a phrase that I've heard him use many times: under-promise and over-deliver. He continually emphasized how important it is to make sure that you can meet the promises that you make to employees and customers. He said, it's better to over-deliver on a promise than disappoint someone and have them lose faith in you. He let me know that in his business, it is important to retain customers because there is quite a lot of competition when it comes to renting and buying this heavy equipment. To retain customers, it is important to come up with new and different ways to handle situations that are best for the customers and employees. As a leader, Steve also finds it important to come up with new ideas for the company and better ways to perform current functions. To do this, he communicates with other employees and gets ideas from everyone. He feels that it is important to brainstorm and collectively come up with a process that everyone is on board with. Steve said that by brainstorming with other employees, he is able to feel that he is engaged with them, and in turn, that motivates his employees to work harder. To keep his employees motivated, Steve said he uses mistakes as teaching moments. He said there's no point in getting angry, but instead, if you use the error as an opportunity for knowledge, then the employee will retain it better and will not make the mistake again. He also said that by entreating his employees this way, he notices that his employees are more willing to take on more diverse and difficult tasks because they do not fear retribution, but expect to gain knowledge. By treating problems and errors this way, Steve inspires his employees to look up to him as a leader. Steve exhibits many characteristics of the functional leadership approach. He communicates as a leader, he sets the standard for his employees and his branch, and he works to mediate conflict between employees through effective communication.